Hey guys, so I am making this video because from what I hear, a lot of people have been having issues with the A.D.D thing that actuates the four-wheel drive. I've seen people replace that motor because they find that the contact points have become corroded, so people will end up taking them off and then either just completely replacing it or taking it apart and resoldering their contact points. I've already done it twice so far. The first time, Toyota actually did it under warranty. This truck is less than 2 years old, so they went and replaced it. Of course, when they opened it up, they said that there was a lot of water in there. Unfortunately, they said that it was going to be a one-time fix, which is kind of dumb. What's the point of a warranty? So anyways, that fixed it. I didn't really care that it was going to be a one-time fix because I told them as long as they take care of it, then hopefully I shouldn't have a problem again. And much to my surprise, it happened again. So I had to go through Toyota dealership and actually bought the A.D.D controller myself out of pocket and installed it myself. What I was thinking was that maybe the breather in here just sits really low. This is the breather here, the breather tube, the skinny one here. This is actually the breather. And that's the tube that goes into the A.D.D thing. Let me actually go down and show you. Of course, take off the skid plate. Take off the rear stock skid plate. This is the A.D.D right here. It's like automatic disconnecting differential something. I don't know. But anyways, they found there to be a lot of water in here. And this is the tube. There's a soft line here that goes into a hard line. And from the hard line, goes up into the soft line and goes into the engine bay. Yeah, the first time around, dealership took this out, a whole bunch of water came out. Yeah, like I said, I was thinking maybe because of water crossings or whatever, a lot of water may have gone into my bay and somehow got into my engine bay and got sucked down the tube down into the A.D.D here. Dealership replaced it, and then it happened again after a year. I took it apart and of course full of water. Replaced it again, and I guess just for preventative maintenance, I was just trying to figure out a way to ensure no more water gets in here. What I thought of was to replace this tube here, or at least the tube that's above the hard line, with a much longer tube. And what I came up with was this here. This is a tube I got from, I think, Lowe's or Home Depot, and it was, I don't know, something like $6 or $7 or something really cheap, and it's, I think, 20 feet. I just took off this breather. I'm gonna lengthen this. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but I'm gonna put this breather much higher. Came through from down here, and it's a really tight squeeze above the driver's side axle. I had to reach my hand here, and you'll see behind this bigger tube here is the hard line for that tube. This one hanging here, that's the soft line that goes and connects to the hard line. Hard line goes here and then connects down into the soft line onto the A.D.D. I removed this hard line, and now I'm going to replace this tube, original tube here, with that tube from Lowe's. Coming up to the front of the axle now. Here's the tie rod. What I found was the original tube here actually is torn here. With the tube going all the way up to the top, it doesn't even matter because it's completely torn right here. So this is where the water is entering from way down here and then getting sucked into the A.D.D. So I guess the fix would be to completely replace this OEM tube with a brand new one, or go ahead and replace it with the tube that I got. This is basically the entire system here with the A.D.D here that I showed you, the soft line here. When you get a replacement from Toyota, all they give you with this A.D.D is this extra soft line here. So I have that marked here in the dotted lines. Above that is a hard line. Above that is the soft line again, and then into the breather in the engine bay. The problem is the damage is right there. So regardless if I'm replacing this, water is still going to enter through here and sucked in through the A.D.D. So what I did is remove this soft line here and extend it with a much longer one. And you can see here, get this one out of the way. This is the black tube right here. Right behind this clip is the hard line. This clip, I think, is why this original soft line got torn. I have to find a way to prevent that from happening again. What I ended up doing, the new replacement soft line here, I just ran it through the original line here and clipped it onto the original clip here. And the hard line, you're really not gonna see it, but if you follow this tube here, that is where that metal clip is. This one here, and the tangs are facing that way, which is what was making contact with the hose previously. And it's really hard to get some pliers to loosen this and turn it around. With the hard line in the back, I actually just bent it upward just a tiny bit so it makes a bit of clearance away from this here. So I'd say there's probably about an inch of clearance in between the two, and I'm hoping that should solve the problem and prevent water from getting inside the motor again. Here is the original tube. The breather was up here, followed this down, and this is the damage that was down at the bottom. And that's exactly where the water was getting inside of. These are where the clips are, that's connected to the body. And I clipped in the new hose that I got. You can see this black one here that I routed around this way, in between the fuse box and the battery. And came around here. And here it is here. So similar to how the breather extension, I just did it exactly the same way as the front and just kind of tucked it away here, so that should prevent any water from getting in. There is this other breather here that actually goes into the differential. Eventually I may end up replacing this one as well or extending it, but for now I think the A.D.D extension thing that I did here should help out a lot. If you go all the way down there, see that's the original clip. That clip goes here. So if you do end up replacing your A.D.D and find that there's water in there, I'd highly recommend taking a look at your hoses as well, because there's really no point in replacing the A.D.D if your hose is also busted, because eventually it's just gonna go bad again. Hopefully I don't go and replace the motor a third time. Good luck, people.